enemy. But because we are blinded to that fact, we don't realize it. In the book, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. I'm sure everybody has heard of this. There is a method that is referred to as divide and conquer. As we go through the lesson, what we're going to see, what we're going to learn, one of the tactics that the adversary has used against humanity is to divide us so that we will be conquered. Okay? And that's what we see when nation rises against nation and kingdom rises against kingdom. That's what we see. Because as Brother Shaul was bringing out, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Our struggle, our strife is not with one another, but against principalities. And what this word principalities implies, you're talking about, first of all, we're talking about something that is principle. We're talking about something that is the first. So against principality, you're talking now about the first sons of Elohim. We're going to get into all of that as we go through the lesson. Because the angelic beings were also referred to as sons of Elohim. But against principalities, against powers. The word powers here, you know what that refers to? Political superiors. Now think about that. The principality, if this is a reference to the angels, okay? Now more specifically, the fallen angels. They have control over the leaders of these physical kingdoms. As we've seen with the king of Zor, as we've seen with the king of Babylon. And we're still in the midst of the king of Babylon, but that's going to be shown. So against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. In other words, another way you can say that, the lords of intercepting light. Rulers of the darkness of this world, the lords of intercepting light. That's what they do. How many of you are football fans? How many of you understand the whole idea, the whole concept of intercepting? Quarterback throws a pass to the wide receiver, and one of the defense from the other team jumps in front of the ball and intercepts it. So something that's being thrown or cast to one person, it doesn't reach that person. It's now taken by somebody else. The light we can compare to the word. So they are lords that intercepted the word that is being given to humanity. That's the thought there. But let's move on. Against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. In other words, you know what this is saying? Ethereal, something that is non-carnal. Ethereal sinners in the sky. That is the true enemy. The fallen angels, who we refer to as demons. That is the true enemy of humanity. It is not one another. But we're going to see as we go along. And I pray that once you start, that you continue so that you get the full thought of the word. So let's move on. Let's go back. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Now let's talk about that a little bit. Now, the word Lucifer, we want to look at not so much what Lucifer is, but we're going to touch on it a little bit. But see, again, we're talking about getting back to the original language. And according to the original language, that was not the term that was used. But let's show. See the term that actually was used. Now, the word that's translated Lucifer in that particular verse comes from number 1966 in the Strong, and the word is Hallel. Hallel. Okay? Now, it is derived from another term in the sense of brightness. Okay? So they reference or they refer to it as being the morning star, because let me go back to the verse. O Lucifer, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation? So when it said, O Hallel, son of the morning. So let's touch on that name Lucifer for a minute. I'm going to write this information down. But we're not finished with this. Let me just put this up here as a reminder, because we're going to take a look at another term. Okay. Now the word Lucifer, two places you can look to get more information about this, right? This term. So one, you can look at the Latin. Okay. Now, from which the English word is actually derived, Lucifer is a noun which means light bearer. Okay. So Lucifer equals light bearer. Hopefully everybody can see that. Like, matter of fact, let me make that a little better for you, so everybody can do the research and write this stuff down. Okay. Now it comes from this term, and that is Lucem Fair. That's where the term comes from. So Lucem Fair, light bearer. Matter of fact, when you look at the term Lucem, you can see how it is derived or tied into something that we say is Lucy. Okay, if I'm using that word correctly, I may be incorrect, do that connection. But Lucem Fair, what it means, light bearer. Okay, but another way to see this too. Now this is from the Latin. And I don't like to give false information, so just give me a second here. This is coming from classical Latin. Now this next term. Okay. Okay, so the term lucem is derived from or connected to the term lucid. The word lucid means suffused with light or luminous. Okay, I just wanted to check myself on that because again, I do not want to give anybody false information. Okay, now the classical Latin of this word, where this word is similar, it's not derived from, but it's similar to, is, and this is derived from, and it's interesting how language is borrowed from one another. But the term that is derived from is a Greek which also means light bearer. Okay. Now the classical Latin derived from the Greek phosphorus also means light bearer. Okay.